Hey, what's up guys? Justin here with ExtremeTerrain.com, and today I'm taking a closer look at and installing Barricade's lockable retractable bed cover fitting on 2016 through 2023 Tacomas equipped with a 5-foot bed. Now the Barricade will be the most affordable locking retractable cover currently on the site, giving owners convenient, easy to operate protection that can be fully opened or fully closed in a matter of seconds. Now, on top of that easy operation, owners can also look forward to a high quality build here thanks to the durable aluminum materials that can support upwards of 1,100 pounds on top of the cover when evenly distributed, and everything has been finished off in a UV resistant matte black coating, all for right around that $800 price point. All right, so moving into our features block here, guys, and the Barricade is gonna pack that retractable design. This is one of a few different designs you'll find here in the category, from folding to rolling, and now retractable covers, which have quickly become one of the fan favorites due to the ease of use. That's because with a simple cable pull, owners can slide the cover back and forth on the included rails, really without taking much effort at all. So maybe if you don't have your arm strength you used to have, you're getting a little older, whatever the case, I'm not judging. Sometimes those foldable covers can be a bit difficult to operate. That's not the case here. Again, these sliding or retractable covers, I would say make these one of the easiest to operate amongst all the styles here on the site. Now that ease of operation will also offer a bunch of security here and protection for your cargo thanks to the durable aluminum build. We're gonna get more into that in our construction block, of course, but that aluminum panel design won't easily be defeated with a knife, such as some of those soft covers might. Now this protection only gets increased with this option due to the lockable design of the Barricade, as the cover itself is fully lockable. As you can see, we have the locking mechanism there, so you can lock this when it is fully closed. So you're getting essentially double the security with this particular cover because A, you have the lockable tailgate, and then B, obviously you're getting the lockable operation of the Barricade. So I really like that from a security standpoint. You're getting plenty of it here, and again, at a very affordable price point. Now, when installed, I really like how flush this also sits with the bed rails on your Tacoma. It does make for a very sleek look when installed. Now, the only drawback to something like this, that's my job to point these things out, guys, is that sometimes they are gonna basically shorten the bed of your Tacoma when installed due to the canister size. That's gonna take away about, I would say, a foot of usable space from your bed cargo area. So if you do need access to the entire bed, well, you will need to ultimately remove the canister itself, which does take a little bit of work, but is possible. All right, let's move into construction and build here, and you're gonna find your predominant material again is that durable aluminum, which does make up things like the retractable panel here itself, along with the rails, in addition to the canister in which the cover actually lives in when retracted. Now the cover is given a kind of textured, I would say lightly textured satin or matte black finish, and then given a UV and scratch resistant coating on top of that as well, just to keep things looking nice and fresh for years to come. Also worth mentioning here, guys, is the fact that the Barricade can support upwards of 1,100 pounds distributed across the cover here, which certainly is impressive and does make this a solid option for some of you overlanders out there who might want to set up a tent or do some kind of bed rigging setup with this installed. Finally, guys, the cover does include 2 keys for the locks itself, in addition to your rails, clamps, and everything else needed for a rather simple install. Now moving into price point and the lockable Barricade option, again, very, very affordable overall. In fact, it was one of my features I mentioned earlier. That's because coming in at or around that $800 price point for the 5-foot bed does again make this the most affordable locking retractable cover here on the site at the time of this video. Now, other options that are gonna deliver a similar style of operation, if you will, Retrax is the big one that comes to mind. Those are often $1,000 plus, if not more. So again, as always, weigh your options. We do have quite a few to choose from here at ExtremeTerrain.com, but if you're looking to really save some money but go with a very popular design, this is certainly worth checking out. All right, moving into the installation portion of today's video, site's gonna go middle of the road, 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter here, taking you a couple of hours, I would say at most, to complete from start to finish. But now to give you a better idea of what's in store for you and your Tacoma at home, let's throw it out to the shop for our detailed walkthrough and tool breakdown.
Tools required for this install include a ratchet, a 13mm wrench, the included Torx wrench, and 10 and 14mm sockets. What's up guys? Today we're installing a tonneau cover on our Tacoma, so let's get started. So now the first thing we're gonna do is start on the floor here with our canister and our 2 side rails. We have M6 bolts with flat washers. One of them is gonna have a nut on the other side, one's gonna go into a threaded hole. So we're gonna slide our side rail into the canister and then install our bolts. So now we're gonna slide our side rail onto our canister. We're gonna have to go over the actual cover here. So first we're gonna pop this open. We're gonna press in on this tab to pop that up. That's gonna give us the clearance we need to slide this on. Now we have this channel here. That's where the cover is gonna be sitting. So now we can go ahead and slide that rail over the cover here. So now we can come to our 2 holes we're gonna have to put bolts through. We're gonna start with the rearward one first. We've got a bolt and a flat washer. And then we have another flat washer going on the back. And our locking nut. Now this would be a good time to say you need to make sure that the rail is on the inside of the canister here because there are threads in the rail that you're gonna need to thread the other bolt into. So now once we get that started, we can take the Torx wrench that's included in the kit and tighten that down. And then on the other one, I'm gonna get a 10mm socket on the nut on the back and use the Torx wrench to hold that down and tighten it down. And then repeat that process on the other side. So now that we have our cover assembled, the next thing we're gonna do is install this foam strip at the front of our bed here. We have a double-sided tape on the back of this, so we're gonna peel off the backing, and then we're just gonna lay it right across the front here. Now for demonstrative purposes, we're not gonna be doing this step, so we're gonna move on to lifting our tonneau cover into the bed. So now we're ready to lift our tonneau cover into the bed of the truck. I've got myself a buddy here to help me with the other side while I lift this side. So now we can install our cover on top of our canister. Now this flap is gonna go towards the front of the bed, and we have a little bit of overhang here on each side that I'm gonna tuck underneath the rail. So I'll lift this into place, get it lined up with the bolt holes, and I'll pick up the canister, tuck that excess flap under. And then we can thread in our bolts. We have 2 on each side. And now we're gonna take our smaller bolts and thread those into the threaded holes in our side rail. And then do that same thing on the other side. So now with everything in the bed of the truck, we can install our brackets to clamp down our side rails to our utility rails here. We're gonna have to pop out this cap, which you can do just by pushing down, popping that out. We'll find that later. And then we're gonna slide this up underneath of our side rail. We have a bolt with a nut that's gonna go on the back here. We have a couple nuts to slide into here, but I'm gonna install those on the bracket first because it'll make it a lot easier. So now with our bracket, I'm gonna take our short bolt with a flat washer, put that through the front, and then we're gonna take our nut plate and thread that on, just a couple threads on the back of that bolt. And then we'll do that same thing with the other hole here. And then we're gonna rotate these sideways, get it up under the side rail, and then slide it into our utility rail. Now I'm going to slide that towards our back set of holes. And then I'll do that same thing for our front bracket. And then now with those in place, we can get another one and go through the top of our rail. And then we'll take this flange nut and thread that onto the back of that bolt. And then the last hole is going to be for our adjustment bolt. It's just going to tilt the rail up or down so that you can have a smooth slide on the track. So we'll thread that into the rib nut, and then we're going to put this rubber stopper on the back here. That's going to go up against the side of the bed. Make sure you're not cutting into it with the threads. And then we're going to take a 14mm socket and 13mm wrench to tighten down our top bolt first. And then we'll tighten down the two on our rail. And then this adjustment bolt, I'm going to adjust a little bit to raise this up to get it level. It's going to be that same 14mm socket. And then you can repeat that exact same process for the frontmost bracket and repeat the whole process on the other side. And now once you have one of those brackets secured, you can do the same thing for the other one on that side and repeat the same process for both on the other side. So now we can install our drain tubes. We have two at the front and two at the back. I'm starting with the back here. It's going to be the skinnier tube. We have this fitting that we're going to twist this cap off of. And then the side that doesn't have these slices. So now we're going to thread that shorter end into the rail. And then we're going to take our tube, we're going to slide the other half of that fitting over, slide the tube up into place, and then thread that nut on to tighten it up. Give it a tug to make sure it's really in there. Now in the rear of the bed on the Tacomas, we don't really have a lot of places that we can run this drain tube. We have a little gap right back here when the tailgates close, so I'm going to run it back through there and it'll come out in front of the rear bumper. And then do that same thing for the other side.
Now at the front of the bed on the bottom of the canister, we're going to be doing the same thing for our drain tube. Our fitting and our tube are just a little bit bigger up here. But same thing, I'm just going to twist that nut off, thread it into the bottom of the canister. And then grab the tube, slip the nut over, slide the tube into the canister, and thread the nut on. Now, kind of similar to the front, there's not really like a grommet or anything back here that we can run this drain tube through, but we do have some holes drilled into the bottom for where the rain would go out. So I'm just going to run both of these tubes towards the middle. And do the same thing for the other side.
And now lastly, we can take the strap attached to our tonneau cover, and I'm just going to clip it to the hook right up front here. So that'll wrap up this review and install of the Barricade aluminum retractable locking tonneau cover for your 2016 to 23 Tacoma with 5-foot bed. Thank you for watching, and for all things Tacoma, keep it right here at extremeterrain.com.